Hello again, this is Juleann, and I'm here to show you another part of the sequence of the JIP, Journey into Power, with being pregnant for the maternity part of the yoga. So we're going to focus on stability for this section. So here's the thing with stability, because it's all about the core, you really have to play it day by day to see how you feel. Most people say to not do any core workout. I'm in between. It really is on your comfort level and how you feel during that moment, that day. So let's just play around with it and see what we come up with. Now, if you're having a really rough day, there's some people that suggest not to do any type of core. So what you could do is to just stay in staff position, which is actually a pretty, it can be a pretty intense core workout, just being in true north alignment. So making sure that your knees are soft, you're not leaning back, you're not leaning forward, you're stacked straight up and down, and you can keep your hands straight out. I like to pull my shoulders forward and then integrate them back in so my spine is fully integrated. And you could stay right here for the entire time. You're only here for stability for a few minutes, so it's not that you'll be holding this pose for an extended amount of time. So if this works for you, you can stay right here. Let's go through the other poses that are part of the stability sequence in JIP, which is the scissor legs, 30-60 drop, bicycles, along with boat. So when I do the scissors, there's two ways of doing it, and it really just depends on what your teacher is leading you through. So you could be doing scissors where you're pulsing, or you could be doing scissors where you're actually changing your legs back and forth. What I like to do with stability, specifically with the scissor legs, if we're going to do the pulse, what they usually ask you to do is to hover the one leg on the floor. Now for me, that is too intense, so I keep my heel on the floor, but I still keep my feet and my heels very active, pressing up and pressing forward. And from here, I will just do little pulses. And depending on the day, it may be larger, it may be smaller, or it may just be right here and not pulsing at all. If you're going to do scissor legs where they are going back and forth, you want to be really mindful here. One, you don't want to be rocking your hips from side to side. And two, you want to make sure how much pressure you actually have on your core and your stomach. So if we're going to do that, I take my breath very slow here. So with every inhale, I breathe in. Exhale, I lower. I do not hover though. I rest my heel on the ground. I take a breath in. Exhale, I bring it up. Inhale. Exhale, lower. Again, breath in. Exhale, move. Breath in. Exhale, move. And that's where you get the point. Most of the time when you're doing the scissors, you're inhaling, exhaling, and you're switching the legs at the same time. For me, that's too much work on my core, so I dial it back and use very slow, purposeful breaths. Let's go over 30-60 then. So straight up, put your hands underneath your sacral area just to give yourself some cushion as well as some support. With here, again, it really depends on your day. You may be able to go here, 30-60, and then this may be exactly where you need to stay. You could be up here. You could just bend your knees as you go down and listen to what the breath work is. Or you could just stay straight up, because even here, you're still doing some core work here. So you can go from here and you can lower to your comfort level. You can stay here and just bend your knees, or you could just stay straight up. All right, next up, bicycles or yogi bikes. So here, you could stay right here. You could do a little bit of a twist. And again, you want to make sure that your hips are level, that you're not rocking them from side to side. Even though stability is a lot about your core, it is actually a lot about your hips too. Most of us will start rocking back and forth and swaying. We want to make sure that our core is intact and that our hips are stable and on the ground. So you could be right here, and I try to just do little twists because, again, remember, you don't want to do too many twists. Or you could just go here and you can just do the leg part. For me, I probably stopped doing the full-on bicycles probably beginning of third trimester, where my stomach was just like, nope, you're not doing this anymore. So again, play around. First trimester, you can do all the core stuff. Second trimester, really start to play around and see what you're able to do. You may need to dial it back. You may be able to do the full intensity. Third trimester, however, it is a day-to-day, let's just see what you are able to accomplish and do. Last but not least is boat pose. So most times you can rock back and forth and get right up into boat. First and second trimester, and even part of the third trimester, completely able to do. Now that I'm ending my pregnancy and I'm at the very tail end of it, it's quite hard for me to roll back and forth. So usually I use my elbows. I could rock to my side and just press up from here. And then I roll up into boat. So you can stay with boat right here where you're grounded in your sit bones as well as your heels, and you keep your spine and shoulders integrated. You could try just to do a little bit of a lift. For me, I really like to do the toe grab. Let me swivel around. Doing the toe grab and then extending long, because obviously you're not going to be able to kick your feet straight out in front of you because your belly's there. So anyway, right here you could do feet grounded, just play around, whatever feels good. That's always my motto with pregnancy and maternity. It's just whatever feels good in your body right then, you are accomplishing so much. So even though your practice may look completely different, just know that you're doing a really amazing job at just being on your mat, breathing and moving. So that's stability for you, and I'll see you for the next section. All right, bye.